draft. Yeah, I can't believe it. Like, this whole offseason feels like it just flew by. I feel like we were doing reaction videos to free agents just a week ago, but apparently it was a month ago. Flew on by real fast. And so here we are. And so today, since we are under a week away, we want to go ahead and do some mock drafts for you all on this edition of Giants Collective. So I'm going to pull up the PFF mock draft machine in just a minute here. We're going to go through and make the selections together, take your feedback in the live chat to help us decide who we want to pick, and really just kind of collaboratively go ahead and do this for the first half of this live stream. So I'm excited to go ahead and dive in. Adriana, we'll start with you. How are you doing today, and how are you feeling now that we are under a week away from the start of the NFL draft?
I'm excited. I feel like it's taken a long time to get here. I feel like since April 1st hit, it was like, all right, we're in the home stretch. And it feels like now it went by really quickly, but I'm at the point where I'm like, all right, let's speed it up now, because the speculations, like I just did 2 mock drafts and I'm like doing them and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to pick. I like this guy and I like this guy. So it's, I'm ready to just see the final answers here and have it be Sunday next week and hopefully be thrilled that Abdul Carter is a Giant. And then they get a few other guys that we can be excited about. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the same. Chris, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited. It's Friday. Weekend's here. Work's over. I get to come on here, talk Giants with you guys for an hour and have a lot of fun. We'll do a few mock drafts. And as far as the draft goes, I'm just relieved it's here, man. Like, I feel like the draft for me is kind of like, for me, it's like preseason football. Like, when preseason football is getting close, you're so pumped up. You're like, football's coming back. Then you see that first preseason game and you're like, oh, now I got to wait till the regular season. The draft's the same for me. It's like, the first 2 to 3 weeks after the regular season, you're so pumped up. You're like, the offseason's here. The Giants have been horrible. I can't wait for the draft. I can't wait for free agency. And then after about 3 weeks to a month, you're like, I just need it to be here. Just get here. I want to know what the Giants are going to do. I'm sick of the speculation. I've watched all these experts give me 5 different versions of who the Giants are going to draft. Let's find out on Thursday night. So I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait either. I feel like we already know what's going to happen in round 1, but I feel like day 2 is where the fun begins. Although, who knows, the Giants could always surprise us as they did in 2019 and surprisingly take a quarterback with a star pass rusher available. So we'll see. But I think we know it's going to be Abdul Carter, and of course, we'll talk about that more in the mock draft. Before we get into the mock draft machine, though, I want to bring this up because I saw somebody in the chat say it, the Defenders OC, saying they won't unretire it. I think he's referring to Abdul Carter posting number 56 on social media. And there's been a lot of Giants fans saying, oh, Lawrence Taylor should let him wear 56. I think we're all in consensus here. Let's get this out of the way. Not going to happen. Should never happen in a million years, right?
Yeah, that, but I've also heard people saying 11 because that's the number that he wears in college, and that's Phil Sims's number. But I'm like, we did it last year for Malik Neighbors, and I think that it should be like a one-time special occasion thing. I was shocked that the Giants even allowed that to happen, that I don't think this is going to be the beginning of like, let's unretire numbers for players who haven't even played a snap in the NFL yet. Like, one day at a time here, okay? Let's win some football games.
And if you're gonna unretire a number, that's the last one you're gonna unretire. You don't touch number 56. Could you imagine the pressure that would come on Abdul Carter if they unretired Lawrence Taylor's number and they gave it to him? Like, I can't even imagine what the pressure would be. But I've seen a lot of people like on Twitter, like, knocking Abdul Carter for, I think he's done it like 3 or 4 times, posted number 56. And they're like, oh, he thinks he's Lawrence Taylor. No, you dumbass. He doesn't think he's Lawrence Taylor. He's trying to pay homage to the New York Giants, the history of the New York Giants. Their greatest player of all time is a pass rusher he will look up to when he more than likely will be drafted by the New York Giants. So I have no issue with that. As a matter of fact, it excites me that he is embracing the history of the New York Giants.
That's what I think. Like, if you're a Giants fan and you see him tweeting this, you have to be like, I love this kid. Like, he knows enough about the Giants and the history of Lawrence Taylor and what he did for football to be like, this guy like could potentially be my mentor if I go to the Giants. And like, I'm going to have to live up to his shoes every day. It's going to be a reminder that like, I want to work hard and be a good football player for New York so I can be on par, maybe someday if he's lucky, like LT. And for the people who are like, oh, we shouldn't get him because he's an Eagles fan, isn't that enough for you to be like, oh my God, he's tweeting about Lawrence Taylor? Like, this guy gets it. Of course I want him to be a Giant. I don't give a shit that he grew up an Eagles fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was exactly where I was going to go with it. This should hopefully calm any Giants fans down who are like, oh no, he's a Philadelphia fan. He clearly is excited about the possibility of being a New York Giant. I think most Giants fans are excited about the possibility as well. But I guess it's a good time to transition. We'll go ahead and dive right into the mock draft. Let me share my screen. And bada boom, bada bing. There we are with the mock draft machine. I figure we'll go 3 rounds. Sit in Joe Shane's chair. Now, I know it presents you with the trade first and foremost. I know Giants fans would love to see a mock trade up to number 1 overall. I think that dream is unfortunately dead. So are we in consensus here? We just go ahead and start?
Yeah. I was of the belief at one point that Tennessee was going to look to trade out of that pick, but it seems like they're dead set on taking Cam Ward at this point. So I think it's safe to have him penciled into that first pick.
I agree. Yeah. All right. So as expected, Cam Ward and Travis Hunter off the board here. So I figure Abdul Carter, we all go with that, or do we have any advocacy for Shedeur Sanders?
No, it's no. I thought, like I said, I thought Shedeur for a while. I think it's clear as day. And I think this will be the pick, but it's either going to be him or Hunter. But I think it'll play out exactly like this mock did. And I think Abdul Carter will be our first pick for the New York Giants.
Yeah, I'd rather try and trade back into the first for Shedeur than pick him at 3. Like, I just, in no world am I not taking Abdul Carter over Shedeur Sanders. It's just not happening.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. If you saw, I slowed down the mock draft machine so that way we can track here. If Shedeur Sanders does start to slip, maybe we get a little creative and try and trade up. But I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. It's going to be Abdul Carter with the number 3 pick. So let's go with that. So let's see.
It's like the easiest year to mock. This is like the easiest year to mock for the Giants, I feel. Like at the end of
the we just went to the Jets at 7.
Yeah. Yep. Shedeur at 7 to the Jets. See, that's one I don't think makes sense. Like, a lot of people say that the Jets are in the quarterback market. I really don't feel like they are.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think they are. They don't have the same pressures a team like the Giants does, for example, to draft a quarterback. First year GM, first year head coach. They signed Justin Fields. I agree with you. I don't think they feel the pressure to have to take a quarterback.
Yeah,
I agree. I think the Raiders at 6 are more likely because, I mean, Geno, yes, they signed him, but they could always do a Kirk Cousins and Falcons situation since Geno is 35.